Okay, but we're starting off with the loppers, and I know that you're looking at this and saying, okay, I've got some loppers in my garage, but they're probably rusty. They're probably, you know, kind of dull. When you think about using them, you think, well, yeah, they kind of work, but I have to put a lot of muscle into it. What's so great about these, and they really are great, matter of fact, they're a customer pick. People love them, and it's because the ratcheting effect, the ratcheting feature on these loppers means that you don't have to use all of your force and muscle in order to cut through those branches. The ratcheting feature makes it easy for you. So I don't care if you say, well, I'm a 98-pound weakling, I can't do it. Yes, you can, because you can use the ratcheting feature. And I have to say, I use loppers around my home to cut down, you know, different branches and leaves and things like that. These are so much easier than the ones that I use. They cut thicker branches with less force. You've got non-stick blades, so they're easy to clean. It's steel construction, so they're going to last a long time. And if you need to kind of work at a higher, you know, overhead, these have telescoping handles. So again, really easy for you to use. Peter Kilcullen is joining us this morning with this big customer pick. And I have to say, Peter, I can honestly say I've never been excited about loppers until these.
Exactly. I was really glad you introduced me right after you were talking about the 98-pound weaklings. Then we went right to me. So that was good you didn't do that.
And here's Peter.
Well, you're You're exactly right. This is going to take a really important job around the yard. I mean, you're getting out there now. Spring is there. You're going to see all either that dead growth that happened over the wintertime, or you're going to get that explosive growth. These are going to let you do it easier than ever before. And the #1 reason is that ratcheting feature. Check that out. When I bring that out, you're going to see, and I'm going to show you as we cut this, that the ratcheting makes cutting, even those large branches, so easy that you don't need that strength. And if you've had some loppers and pruners like this before, and they start to get rusted, and you have to use all your strength to try to do it, and then the branch you just can't cut it, when you see the ratcheting action, you are going to be amazed, because this makes even those very hard, thick branches so much easier.
Yes.
And let me show you this right here.
Okay.
This is the way to see this. The easiest thing to do is just open those shears or those loppers up all the way. And when I have that over the branch, now you'll see as I close it without a lot of force, can you see that ratcheting mechanism? I squeeze and then I let it go a little bit, and you'll see it go further and further through that branch. Look at that, just using, and I'm right through that. And that's a good size, fresh branch that we have there. I'll show you that again. This is what makes it so impressive. I'm just going to close a little bit. Ratchet, close the ratchet, and I'm through.
Yeah.
It is really so simple, so easy. Steel construction. And here's the other thing, that non-stick blade right there. There's the blade. This is sort of that anvil design where you don't have the blades on both sides, where that scissor, where you've had the branches get all cut in there and everything gets stuck. Here, what's important is that they're not going to rust. You've used the rusty ones, and they're impossible to work after a while, so then it becomes even more difficult to cut those branches. This makes it so simple. The ratcheting design, the non-stick, very sharp blade, and you can see that anvil design on the other side. So it's that single blade coming down on that branch with the ratcheting design, and this is why you're going to get not only easier pruning with larger branches, you are going to be able to have that beautiful, clean cut.
Yes.
That's going to improve that regrowth with those branches.
And that's so important, because I've used, like I said, I have used loppers that you almost have to kind of saw through, because they're just not strong enough, or I haven't been strong enough. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I can actually do this. I might have to call and hire somebody to come and clear off those low-hanging branches and things like that. But this is something that you can actually do, and I want to show you, because I was kind of doing this a little bit this morning, just to show you I'm not using my muscle. You open it up all the way.
Right.
I'm just going to go right there on the end, and then listen to that ratchet.
Yep. You just keep doing it. I like what you said.
Clean cut too. Look at how smooth that is. That's what you're looking for.
Right, and you hear that ratchet each time, so you know you're doing it. Here we've got even a thicker one, and I can actually use it fully extended, which is great when you're going up overhead to reach some of those branches. But same thing, so I don't even have to bend down as much. I can just open that up. Same thing, just look at that ratchet, nice and slow. Let the ratchet do the work for you.
Right.
One more click, and I'm through, and there's that beautiful clean cut. And you can see that anvil design, that non-stick blade, all steel construction. And look at that reach that I'm getting as well, which I think is terrific. So I can get that kind of reach that I want, put it right over that branch, and just let that ratcheting mechanism do it. Look at that. You can take your time, let the ratchet do the work for you.
Yes.
Pruning's important. You're going to have that growth. You're going to be going all around the yard, but you're not going to have that strain on your arms. And just the grip sometimes when you have to try and force this closed, it can be very difficult.
Yeah.
And then opening and closing these is so simple. Look at that. You can extend these out just like that, and now you're up overhead or not having to bend down.
Super easy.
It really is.
I want to let you know, fewer than 500 of these left to go. These, you have to read the reviews, because some of the reviews, they're all stellar. They say they're easy, they're reliable, they're strong, they do the work for you. And if you're saying, well, my old loppers are all rusty, and every time you use them you have to go, do you do that? You will never have to do that with these because of that ratcheting technology, or that ratcheting feature, which I think is genius. I wish they thought of this earlier, but we've got it right now. Again, like I said, we started off with just a little bit over 500, and now a lot of these are going, and a lot of you are on the phone for them, because now is the time that, Peter, we have to get out into our gardens and kind of reclaim them, because Old Man Winter did a number on what's out there.
Exactly. So you'll see some of that growth that's dead, and you want to prune that back. But just pruning them right now, because you know those plants are going to explode with the growth into the spring and summer. So prune it back now, and you'll get amazing regrowth that you're really going to like. So here it is again. I want you to see that, how I have it open all the way. I can see that stainless steel blade is already gripping into that. But here's that ratcheting feature. Just let it ratchet each time. Look at that. As I go back and forth without a lot of strength in there, just let that ratcheting mechanism do the job for me, and there it is.
Yes, every time. And that, again, we bring out the point that that's a fresh branch, because the dry ones might seem a little bit easier, but when you have a fresh one, those are the ones that you probably have been like sawing into. No issues there. Again, these are going quickly, because this is the time to definitely do it. I like too that they're strong, but they're not heavy, because as the woman who, I've done this around my house with the palm trees and things like that, just picking it up, the regular loppers, the old time loppers, those were so heavy I didn't think I could actually do anything with them. But these, they feel comfortable in your hand, so you don't feel intimidated to use them.
No, exactly. When you have the comfortable handles, and then you have that ratcheting design that you don't have to use the strength, there's it is. You can cut thicker branches with almost no force at all. The non-stick blade, very important, because you know after even half a season when you grab your loppers and they're all rusted out, this steel construction means they're going to last long. And then that they extend and you're able to work overhead, I think is nice too. So you don't need any tools to do that. You can just extend the handles and lock them into place, which I think is great. And then that ratcheting design is everything you want, where you just open them up and just let that ratcheting feature do the work for you, just like that. And you can keep going, because you're going to be able to do more pruning if you're using less strength each and every time as you go through this. Look at that.
You can last longer.
Exactly. You can hear it as you go through. The click, and I'm through. So thicker or smaller, you can make so just quick work of it that you're going through each branch nice and easy.
And it's a nice clean cut. Don't forget about that. We've got these for $10 off. And think about it. This is the beginning of the season. For a lot of us, we're just now thinking about getting out and doing that spring cleaning around the garden. And the fact that you have it for the lowest price we've ever offered them just in time to use it is such a big bonus. So I don't want you to miss out on these. We've got our last 3 minutes. And we're going to, if you're just joining us, we'll start over and give you all of the details again of your brand new loppers. But I don't want you to miss out, because we have, at this point, fewer than 400 of them left to go. And when they sell out, I don't know how long it's going to take us to get them back in for the season. So I say get them now.
Yeah, exactly. And what are you using right now to do that pruning? Or what are you thinking about using? If you've got the old rusty ones without that ratcheting design, you can see
how small that mouth is, too.
Yeah, exactly. Not only is it small, these are sticking already. And this is that two-blade design where it's almost like a scissor, but when those branches get cut in there, but again, without that ratcheting design, you have to apply all that force on that. Or maybe you're using these. These are not for branches. These are maybe for hedges. But if you try to use these for branches, you're going to be using all your force, and it's going to be extremely difficult.
Do you know I've never seen a non-rusty one of these? Never. Not in anybody's home.
You get them, they rust, and that's it. You deal with it.
That's right.
No, so you don't have to use those, but if you have the right tool, and as I said, and if it's comfortable, if it's light enough, if it can reach overhead, and you can get those other branches, you are going to be using them more. You're going to be pruning those plants. You're going to get better regrowth, healthier plants. I mean, it makes such a difference. And I'll show you one more time before we go why that ratcheting action is so important. It's important because you're using less force even for the thick branches. So where you want to watch is up here as I close that blade and that ratcheting action.
Look,
it's going too fast for me.
Yeah.
So you just ratchet, let it click, click, and you're through. I mean, that's how easy it is. Anybody can do this. It doesn't take that arm, and in particular, that hand strength, which can be very difficult. And if you're using the regular handheld shears, you can't get the big enough branches. But when you see this and you're able to get that open all the way and then get that ratchet, that assist, it's like having that helping hand, that assistance right there with you, you are going to do bigger and bigger branches. And there is the blade. What you have to see there is that that's non-stick coated, and there you can see that very sharp blade, and that blade closes down just like on that anvil, and that's what gives you the clean cut. But that ratcheting action is that helping hand that you need.
It is perfect clean cut every time. It's like a hot knife through butter. Look at how smooth that is on both sides. So that's what we're talking about, with no force, with no muscle, with no, working up to it. And like I said, you're spending less than $30 on these today. If you were going to hire a handyman to come around and do this around your yard, they're probably going to charge at least double that price just one time. But you buy these and you have them, and you absolutely can do them. So enjoy it. And Peter, I know that you're not going far.
No, I'm going to stay.
All right, for sure. Peter's going to stay with us. I don't want you to miss out on these. At this point, about 300 of them left, and I'll let you know when they're gone. But we're going to check in with a quick spotlight with ANG for now.